Hello, everyone. I am Michael Turner, the manager for the Career and Technical Education Department at Cincinnati Public Schools, and we want to welcome you to another Beyond the Tassel series. In case you've missed what we're doing, typically about twice a month, the college and career areas are releasing these very informative Beyond the Tassel videos where you can learn about different things related to the work of the college department and the career and technical education department. Today, we will have a very interesting presentation relating to entrepreneurship, and we will introduce that here in a little bit. So I'm just so happy that you've joined us today. And what I would like to do before we go any further is have each member of the Career and Technical Education Department introduce themselves. And they're just going to give you their name and title so you can connect a name to a face. And then we will move right into our presentation. So I will start with um, Alexander, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Alexander Johnson. I'm an employee specialist.
Okay, and sorry, we'll save Andrea till last. Anne,
Good afternoon, Ann Brogdon, Employment Specialist.
thank you. Rick,
I'm Rick Pridemore. I'm the Career Technical Education Coach.
wonderful. William,
William Pope, better known as PJ Pope. I am the CTE Pathway Specialist.
great. Thank you all. We have one person missing today, and his name is Philip Jabert, and he is the career associate, and you'll get to meet him in the future. Now I'm going to turn it over to Andrea, who is going to introduce herself and then introduce guests for today. Andrea, go ahead.
Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everyone. And again, welcome to the Beyond the Tassel Career Edition, Entrepreneurship. My name is Andrea Newbill Hicks, and I serve as the CTE Career-Based Learning Specialist for Cincinnati Public Schools. Today, we are joined by GCMI Executive Director, Willie Hill, and Program Coordinator, Tracy Hayes. Over the next few minutes, we will be sharing an important information about entrepreneurship and answering any questions that you may have. The Greater Cincinnati Microenterprise Initiative, or GCMI, is an entrepreneurial educational program designed to help individuals and small business owners develop and implement their business plans. GCMI recognizes the importance of having an entrepreneurial mindset and how to maximize your opportunity personally and professionally. They have been in business since 1998. Again, if you have any questions for Mr. Hill or Mrs. Hayes, please feel free to put them in the chat and we'll uplift them afterwards. At this time, I'm going to welcome the GCMI team. Thank you for joining us. And now I turn it over to Willie and Tracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. We really appreciate the opportunity to be able and really come and share more about GCMI and share about entrepreneurship. We have a presentation that we are going to just go through, and please feel free to ask questions. We'll be happy to try to get those answered. So I will let Tracy introduce herself real quick so you all know who she is.
Thanks so much, Willie. And I am so proud to be here. Thank you so much, Andrea, for inviting GCMI. I am the program coordinator, which makes me responsible for program coordination and client intake. Looking forward to answering your questions.
All right, thank you. As Andrea said, GCMI has been around for over close to 23 years. And we are a collaborative effort of the Community Action Agency and United Way. Interesting enough, GCMI was, started because of an alternative to a workforce, right? We wanted to be able to provide an opportunity for individuals to be able to start a business as a career choice. And GCMI was started to really to give many individuals that opportunity. Our focus is also supporting low to moderate income individuals and communities, and really to try to help address the challenges that that poverty presents itself as well. So as we go through this, I just explained, and Tracy, we'll go ahead and move to the next slide. I've just explained that we are this collaborative effort. Again, our mission is really to focus in on economic development by stimulating and supporting entrepreneurship. And so we do that through 4 different areas. The first area that we provide is entrepreneurship training. And Tracy, you can go over to the next 2 slides. Entrepreneurship training. We offer a couple different levels of entrepreneurship training. And entrepreneurship training is about trying to help individuals start a business, right? What goes into starting a business? What do I need to be able to understand how to manage a business? And then the second part that we offer is business coaching and technical assistance. Business coaching and technical assistance centers around once you're in business or once you get started, you need help trying to figure out some of the particulars about operating and running that business. And that could be in sales, marketing, that could be in accounting. And you just need help. You need someone to talk to be able to give you some guidance and some guidelines to be able to help you make the right decisions. And then that is a very important piece of supporting entrepreneurship and supporting business owners. The third piece is access to capital. And access to capital is if you talk to anyone, that's the first thing they say, well, where do I get money from to be able to start my business? How do I start my business? People use that as the number one excuse to say, and I say excuse to say they can't start their business because they don't have funds to be able to do it. But GCMI is a certified lender. We are a certified CDFI, which is a community development financial institution. So we do offer loans. Our focus is on microloans, which up to $35,000. So we can do from $1,000 to $35,000. So we have that capability. And then the last pillar in terms of what we offer is something that we are really embraced over the last several years, and that is developing entrepreneurial skill sets. It is developing your entrepreneurial mindset. We really feel very strongly about how important this is to get this foundation before you really get started in terms of starting your business. Having an understanding about what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur, having a right mindset, building these skill sets is what we're about and what we try to help our business owners try to build upon. So, looking at these areas, and you can see here on what we do. The Ice House Entrepreneurship Program is part of our curriculum, and that is part of our mindset training. Business 1 is business development training. Business 2 is business development training. Me Negocio, we do offer some of our classes, our Business 1 type of level classes in Spanish. That's taught completely in Spanish. We offer an IDA program called GCMI Drive, which is an IDA program which allows you to save dollars to be able to get that match to be able to purchase a vehicle. We offer that for individuals and for business owners as well. And then the eWork is something that we've done, and we've partnered with Cincinnati Public Schools and other partners to be able to offer our mindset and our business development and entrepreneurship education programs to high school students. And so we've done that and partnered with Job for Cincinnati Graduates and CYC for probably 10 years now. And so we've been very proud of that relationship in supporting their programming. And then again, the business coaching and access to capital are just the things that we offer. So as you can see, GCMI is pretty full service in terms of really trying to support businesses. So we try to meet businesses where they are, and then try to help them with the right resource. We focus in on startups, but we partner with other organizations throughout the city that that would be able to provide, support for them in different ways, and at different levels. And so, we're very proud of the fact that we are a resource for anyone who's really in business and starting a business. But we focus again on startups, and we focus again on those early businesses. So today we want to try to talk about a few different things, and we want to talk about entrepreneurial mindset. We definitely want to key in on that. We want to talk about testing ideas. We want to talk about starting a business, and then how to ask for help. So when you think about entrepreneurship, what do you think about, right? What is it that comes to mind? The minute people talk about it, they talk about starting a business, and which is true.
They want to make a lot of money.
They want to make a lot of money. There it is, and that's where they start leaning towards, right? So, but what we try to explain to you, and then the first thing we talk about is that we tell you entrepreneurship is not the lottery, right? You're not going to start this business and instantly, boom, make a lot of money,
It'll be an overnight success.
Overnight success, right? Some of those things that people want it to happen really fast. Most larger businesses, most successful businesses start from humble beginnings, right? They start from a small idea that grows into something larger. But the key for us, what we want you to think about in terms of entrepreneurship, we really want you to understand that it's all about problem solving, right? Entrepreneurship is everywhere around you. You think about all the things that you do, the fact that we're on this video presentation, right? And that people can listen in, you can come back later. All of this has been developed by an entrepreneur, right? The glasses that you wear, the clothes, the shoes, the water bottle, all these things have been developed and they're problem solving, right? And the more and more that we embrace the idea about it being about problem solving, and we're thinking about solving problems for others, it will in turn help us solve problems in our lives, right? Yeah. And so, so when you think about entrepreneurship, we want you to think about problem solving. Tracy, I didn't know if you have a thought that you wanted to bring to.
I do, because, I'm usually the first person you talk to when you call GCMI. And the one thing that entrepreneurs, they just get so wrapped up in is what they're doing. But sometimes I'll ask them the question, so why are you doing what you do? Like, why is this important? That's the question they can't answer. They're not sure why they're doing what they want to do, or they don't have a definitive answer. They just know what they want to do is what they like. And I said, well, how do you know that that's what customers want? Well, how do you know that there's a market for that? And that's usually when they find out, like, okay, I think I need to come to GCMI.
And again, it's about that process and what she just brought up. Like sometimes we don't know what we don't know, right? And I'm sure you've heard that before. And being in an entrepreneurial environment is very fulfilling from the standpoint that you're going through a process of thinking and problem solving and being creative. And so when you come to GCMI, and again, these are the things that we focus in on, we want to try to help you flush out that idea or concept, right? We want you to figure out, how viable is this idea that I'm looking at? How can I make this a business? And sometimes you just don't know where to go to try to figure that out. And that is what GCMI brings to the table.
Right. We ask those tough questions that they haven't asked themselves. Like, what makes you so different than a business that's similar to yours? And they haven't thought about that. You ask them these questions, and we just had a young lady in class last night that says, if she had taken this class right out of high school, she would have done some things differently in her business. If she would have known that this even existed, she would have been in this class a long time ago.
And that's an excellent point from the standpoint of when do you start? Like, when do you start embracing this? and embracing entrepreneurship, because people embrace it to say they want to go into business. That's again, that's the first place they start, is that I want to go into business. And entrepreneurship is about mindset. It's about understanding problem solving and the mindset of a successful entrepreneur to think about problem solving. And we all got problems in our lives. I know we do at some point, right? Like there's things that we deal with, right, that we have to make decisions about. And so when you think about it from that standpoint, entrepreneurship and this type of training and this type of programming as a thought process can help you through those things. It's not just about starting businesses. It is about understanding how to problem solve. And if you can problem solve for some of the things that you're dealing with, or some of the things that your family might be, or your child, or even if you're, what your parents might be going through, if you're thinking in that space in terms of problem solving, then and you're going through that process, and you can start a business. It's simple. It's not hard. I mean, it's not easy, right? But it's simple to go through that process. And sometimes you just need help in doing it. And so we encourage everyone to really seek out entrepreneurship classes or go through an entrepreneurship course, just to be able to understand what it is about in terms of problem solving and going through that process. So it starts with an idea, right? It really does start with an idea. And most ideas are simple solutions, right? I always use this example, and the people who've taken our class, and Tracy knows, like, I still get mad at Chipotle, right? Like, as part of the simple process, right? A simple process of being able to have your protein and your veggies, and you're walking up and telling somebody what you want. I don't think that's a hard concept. And I'm
What have we been doing all this time?
what have we been doing, right? Like, so I just think that and we think, I'm sorry, in terms of GCMI, and that there's so many problems in the world that people are trying to find solutions, but they're trying to be creative about those solutions. Like, it needs to be the new thing. And really, it doesn't. We just need simple solutions. And then how do you make it an opportunity? That's where a lot of people struggle, is trying to figure out how to make it an opportunity. But you have to start with an idea, and you have to start with a concept, and then you have to be able to work with someone to be able to help you flush that out.
And I think probably the one thing you said in there that's important is you said a idea or a concept. A lot of times they come with multiple ideas, and they want to take all of these ideas and turn them into one concept. They want to have a hair salon, a nail shop, but they want it to be both men and women. They want to have childcare and a car wash and a boutique all in one.
Right. I can do it all, right? So
I can do it all.
So yeah, coming in with one idea, at least starting off with the idea, is where you start, right? What we want to try to do is build on the process, right? And build on the skill set. That's what we want to try to help you with, and that's what you should be doing. So when opportunities come up and when opportunities pop up, I can say, how many times, Tracy, have you said, hey, I wish I would have thought of that, or I did think of that, didn't you just say that? I thought about that.
I should have been a millionaire by now.
Right. So we think about, things, and we're in moments where we think it's a great idea, and it probably is. But how do you turn that into an opportunity? And how do I turn it potentially into a business? That is the process that you need help with. We see opportunities every day. We come across opportunities every day. But it's the action that goes behind it is what matters, right? After you get that concept. And we try to help you with that. That's, our curriculum, and what our support does is to first let you understand that you have the choices to be able to do the things that you do in life, right? Choice is one of the things that every person has, and they make it. right? We make choices. We buy things that we like. We buy things that we don't buy things that we don't, right? We have simple choices and everybody has it. The more we understand why people make the choices they do, the better you can become in terms of an entrepreneur. Understanding why, and you'll hear this probably a few more times through our discussion here. Why is one of the key questions that you need to continue to ask. That was one of the things Tracy brought up, right? When she said that, people talk to her about what they're doing and when them going into business, they're not sure why, this business can work, or they're not sure why that person needs this concept or needs this product or service. And being able to understand that and really to get to the root of that, of understanding why is at the heart of problem solving. And
that usually holds them back, right? Because they know what they want to do, but they don't understand the steps and how they need to get there because the concept is either so complex or maybe they just are not sure which, angle to sort of kind of take the business, that they get stuck and then they start, doubting themselves and then fear starts creeping in. But what are some of the things that maybe we can tell the audience that helps them sort of kind of get over that fear and start, developing that idea? What are some things that maybe we can tell them, Willie?
All right. So, initially, again, one, being able to take your idea or concept, right, and figure out what that idea or concept, and literally talk with someone about it, right? Talk with someone to get an understanding about what their thoughts are on it. We get so caught up sometimes in saying it's ours, right? We want to keep it tight. We think it's super special, and some things are. I won't take that wrong. There are some things that are. But I guarantee you, if you Googled or searched for, your concept and typed it in, that something's going to come up with it, right? But to be able to talk to others about what you're thinking about, and to be able to get feedback and support on that, I think is the first initial step. You have an idea, you have a concept that you want to try, but you're not sure. And sometimes we've gone through, high school or we've gone through college, and sometimes we hesitate to raise our hand. We hesitate to put out that answer because we think we're wrong, right? Or we think what we're saying is not very good.
Or they're scared to get a no, or that's stupid, or why would you want to do that? So you got to push beyond that and have that internal motivation that says, this is something I want to do. This is something I have a passion in, and I'm going to look, I'm going to seek it. I'm going to seek resources and information and talk to people about it. Because a lot of times they'll get distracted by the noise on social media. They'll get distracted by the noise from their friends and sometimes even the family. So you've got to, one thing, have confidence and believe in yourself.
And when you go through this process of becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a problem solver, and you put yourself around others or you talk to others who are in that space, you will see that there is no bad idea, right? There's really not a bad idea. And the concept is and what people are giving you are perspectives. Understanding that everyone has an opinion, has perspectives is natural to me. It is something that everyone should just embrace. But with that being said, being around and being in an entrepreneurship program or being around others who are thinking that way allows you to grow that idea and to think differently about it. One of the things that we talk about in our training is being divergent and convergent, right? And convergent thinking is following a process to get to a solution, right? You're going, this is how I get to point A to point B, and this is how I should. And this is how it's done. This is how it's always been done. But being divergent is thinking differently about your approach to solving that problem and understanding that your perspective, your environment, all these things affect how you think about solving that problem. So some people, might solve it a little bit differently by going in a different direction, and while some people might solve it by going in a straight line. It doesn't mean that you still got to the same place, but you got there differently. And that's how problem solving is that people take their perspectives and they understand their perspective, and that's how they approach it. But when you allow others to give you different perspectives, then you can come up with different solutions. And so, we're talking about ideas and concepts because we think that is the foundation of you developing that entrepreneurial mindset. And we really think that is the first part of it all. Like once you get that concept down, once you get through that process, then everything else comes out of that, right? Everything else comes out of that. So once you get that idea or concept down, now you're coming and now you're talking to more individuals in various fields that can help you get answers to the questions that you might have. And I said, you don't know what you don't know. A lot of times we just don't know who to talk to. But a lot of programs, and especially GCMI, we have access to marketing people, social media, sales, accounting, all these people that you'll be able to reach out, talk to, get some of those questions answered so you can make informed decisions about you starting your business or where you're going with your business. And but it first starts with that concept. It first starts with getting that foundation of, is this a viable idea? And then getting the support to put it into action and to get it started.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, it just takes that you take the time to put in to learn. And sometimes people want to go all around the learning part and get straight to making money. Sometimes you need to just stop and take a moment, be in that place that you're comfortable so that you can learn what you need to learn so that you can move forward correctly. Because a lot of times people move so fast, they skip steps and then they wind up having to go 3 steps back because they skipped some steps that they should have done in the first place. So the first thing is, take that time to learn what it is that you need to know. So you're not going back reworking things that you've already done and you've done those incorrectly.
And I've used this quote in a class. I saw a video where Jay-Z talked about, how people want to emulate the result, right? They want to emulate the success. They want to show that they've success, or they want to, without really understanding the process that it took to get to there, right? To be able to get to the result, you had to go through a process, and it's a lot of work that's going in the process, but you don't automatically just jump there. And it's the same way in terms of business. And sometimes it goes faster and sometimes it doesn't. And you just need to be ready to embrace the process and the learning that goes along with it. I also have a shirt by Nelson Mandela that says, I never lose. I either win or I learn, right? You're either going to win or you learn, right? In this process. And that's being entrepreneurial. That is moving yourself forward. That's moving your business forward. We all start off, and you're going to start off a business. It might not start off a certain way, but it might end up going in a different direction that makes it even more successful. But that process is what we want to try to help you with. And that process, I think, is an important piece of what Tracy just said that people don't have the patience for. And if you're looking at a career opportunity and you haven't explored entrepreneurship curriculum to try to help you think through that, right? To help you think through that, I would just challenge you to do that. I would challenge you to look at an entrepreneurship program or a class or something that will help you think differently about your approach and how important problem solving is. We study sometimes to go into certain careers as a job, but we don't always study to go into that career as a business. And it could be that you could have that skill set, but It could be a business that you operate that supports that industry. Or, but if you're not thinking that way, you're thinking all more about just being an employee. And sometimes we just challenge that. Do we need people to be employees? Yes. Do we need employees to run businesses? Yes. Right. But at the same time, all we just ask is that you challenge your mindset to be able to see where the opportunities are potentially in terms of what entrepreneurship, education, or what entrepreneurship training and programs can help you do.
Yeah, entrepreneurship education provides you with so many other competencies, like communication skills become better, your problem solving skills, how you identify problems when you see things that are not right, not just, speaking on those, but thinking about a solution to those problems. Being a critical thinker, being a collaborator and networking, building teams. It just provides so many other competencies that could just transfer to other, it could help you at school. If you're, thinking about, going to secondary education, college, it could help you in your job. It could help you, how you communicate and, have relations with people, better relations or, better communication with people, able to talk and, kind of express your feelings better.
And one of the things, and you said that too, that comes out of this, and confidence is definitely one that comes out of when you start doing this. But one of the things that we see is that people can take criticism better, right? And when it's constructive criticism, when they're hearing it about helping them make their idea a little bit differently, or make it better, or maybe change it in a different direction. Once you go through that process, you don't look at it as criticism, right? You look at it as feedback and perspective. And sometimes we get challenged with that, right? We don't like people telling us that, they don't like this, or this might not be the best thing. And we struggle with it. We all struggle with it at times. And but going through this process really helps you with that. Helps you understand that it is a perspective, and what are they really saying, and then is it true from the standpoint of something that I might be able to tweak or change, and especially when we're more thinking about my business or my product or service, right? So I do want to make sure, Tracy, that we do touch base on the whole starting and lending, and just to touch base on that, and then we can go back to the entrepreneurship education here in a little bit. So I do want, because I know people, ask about financing, and they ask about dollars, and they want to know, what do I do? How do I get started?
Do I need a business plan?
Do I need a business plan, right? And so, we always start with you writing and having something written down. If you don't have it written down, then it is concept, right? It is not as real because it's just in your head. And you're not allowing others to be able to see it, to be able to help you try to flush it out and figure it out. And so, when it comes to lending, one of the things that we want people to have is that business plan, or that pitch deck, or something that shows, what their business is about, and that they can visually show that what the business is and how it's going to make money.
So number one, write it down. Get it on paper. Get your idea on paper.
Yep. And so once you do that, then we meet, right? And we want to talk and try to help you figure out how viable this is, right? And once you understand how viable it is, then we start moving and start talking about numbers, right? On how to get to the numbers, right? And what the numbers really mean. So, but in that viable, conversation, we'll talk about how you're going to gain market share. We're going to talk about how you're going to get customers, how you're going to, operate, how you're going to build your product or service a little bit, what that looks like. And then we get to the numbers. We get to a better understanding about what those look like. And GCMI, we help you with that, right? We're not saying, give me what you have, and then we're going to take it and all right, this ain't right. You're not going to get a loan, right? Or you can't get any financing. but it is about trying to help you figure out, what those numbers are really saying in your business. And if those numbers are saying, if those numbers are saying, hey, you need to do more of this or more of that, then that's what we want to try to address. But once you get that concept down, once you flushed out the concept, once you got a better understanding of how the business is going to operate and be, then we can look at financing. And we try to look at financing from the standpoint of what you need in order to generate revenue. That's one of the things that we try to take a look at, and what other lenders do as well. But in the micro world, we know that 35,000 for some is a lot. Some it might not be enough. But how are you going to use the dollars to impact your business, right? And try to have direct impact to your business. Are you need to buy more inventory? Do you need to be able to get better equipment to be able to produce more? Do you need to pay people who are going to be doing the work? These are all the things that we want to try to use the funds to have impact. And so, but it starts with that written plan, or that pitch deck, or something that says this is who the business is. Then we try to help you evaluate that, whether or not, see how viable that is, with all the things that go into it. And then we talk about the numbers. And again, we help you through that process. And that process is sometimes can take a little bit longer, but the thing that we urge you all to do is to be patient with that process, and understand that we're looking out for your best interest when we go through that process. And we're looking out for your best interest just to be able to help you understand, one, what you're getting into if you're thinking about borrowing funds. So, but we're here as a resource. We've helped 70% of our portfolio are startups. So, we're not afraid to work with individuals. We're not afraid to support individuals who are starting a business, who maybe you've had some credit issues. We try to address those and try to help you overcome some of the obstacles you might have in order to be able to get financing. And then we have partners. We have partners that we partner with, that if we're not able to do some of that financing, or you need larger financing, we might be able to partner with other organizations and other lenders that can help. So when it comes to it, we're pretty full service. So then it's about you. It becomes about you trying to figure out what you would like, how you would like to move forward, and then taking the steps to do it. And that's what we try to help you with. So
And that sometimes, most entrepreneurs sort of get in their own way when it comes to that second part. They think they have something that might be solid, but then when it comes to asking for help, they're not sure who they should ask. They're not sure if they're, going to be asking the right questions. They're not sure who to call, so why is it so difficult for entrepreneurs to ask for help?
and I think it's initially just like what we just been talking about. Like, it is, you just don't know sometimes, and you're afraid to ask. But being in an environment where we're welcoming all questions, and being in an environment that's going to be able to help you think differently about what questions you should be asking, I think is an important space. And for individuals that are transitioning, and this is a transition time, is what my understanding is, right? Like, if you're in high school and you're leaving and you're moving to that next level, or you're even going to the next grade, right? It's a transition. And to be able to understand, and get support on what that could look like, I think, entrepreneurship is a vehicle for you to be able to try to utilize. And I want to debunk it all, to say that it's not just about starting a business. It really isn't. It is about developing skill sets that will allow you to be successful in business. But those skill sets are transferable to your personal, professional, and your business career potentially.
Yeah.
So,
And just like with anything, how you build confidence, the more you practice something, the more that you just keep doing things repetitiously, the more you keep engaging and learning and becoming more connected to that, helps you build the confidence you need to ask for help. Just practice. Just keep practicing.
So, you know, if you're looking for an environment, and we'll go a little bit right to mindset. I know we have a few minutes left, and you know, in terms of you know, talking with people and taking the time to talk with others about what you're thinking, regardless, is a very important piece to being entrepreneurial. And when we talk about increasing your circles, increasing the people that you are around, you know, your success circles, one of the things that we talk about. You know, it's so important that you embrace that and not be afraid to talk to others because they have experience, they have perspective, and I think that's an important thing, perspective. You know, we're not going to them because we think they know it all. We're going to them because they have a perspective that can help me, you know, get some answers to some of the questions that I might have. And if you're going to be entrepreneur, if you're going to eventually be in business, you're listening to customers all the time. They're talking to you all the time. And if you're not building in ways to listen to them, then your business won't be as successful as it could be. And so you know, we want you to increase your success circles. We want you to you know, do more in terms of being able to build that success network to be successful. So.
And just remember, when you reach out to people and you want to ask for advice or suggestions or recommendations or opinions, just remember to be grateful and say thank you. Because you just never know when you might need to go back to that person, or if you need to maybe ask for additional assistance, and they'll remember how grateful you were and you said thank you and you were very courteous.
Yeah. And you know, again, talking about that, again, your success circles, you just never know when you talk with people, is what Tracy just said, who's going to be your advocate down the line.
Right.
So so here are our social media handles and emails, and please give us a call and or email, and we will support you in any way we can.
www.gcmi.org.
Or GCMI Nation on
Or
our social
GCMI
media.
Nation on all social media.
Well, speaking of social media, even though we didn't have a lot of questions on Facebook, we did have one person who commented that what you guys are presenting is so needed in our school district. And so that was good that they saw the significance of this. And then one person actually commented on Facebook that her son benefited in a wonderful way from you guys during the summer in a summer programming that you had, and it helped him tremendously with his business efforts. And so we appreciate the wonderful work that GCMI is doing, and Tracy and Willie, we so much appreciate you giving up your time here today to do this. For those of you out there watching this, we would encourage you to point other people to this. So as you hear people talking about wanting to be an entrepreneur and having their own business, and you know, what do I do and where do I start? Please have them reach out to Team GCMI at www.gcmi.org or at GCMI Nation for the other social media links, because I know they really want to help you. So we greatly appreciate the time that you guys put forth here today. And thanks again for working with us on this. And I know people are out there cheering for you guys with the wonderful job that you did presenting today. So we greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.